morning, everybody. Oh my god, you know what's something I never usually do whenever I introduce myself on the vlog? That's it, I never introduce myself. Well, today that changes. My name is Bianca Valerio and welcome to my YouTube channel. So what do? Well, I try to take you guys all over the world so you guys can see the world through my eyes, but not necessarily just to see that I'm living my best life, but it really is to try and learn in a fun way. So today is December 31, and that means in a few hours it's actually going to be the new year, a new decade, 2020. So where am I? I'm in Athens, Greece, and I am just over the moon because I've always wanted to come here and I'm really excited. First things first, so where am I going to take you guys? Well, in ancient history, I mean every history that we learn in school has a lot to do with the Romans and the Greeks. Well, the Greeks were really the OGs. They started so many things, and a lot of the words that we know today actually stem from them. So before we actually get to the main showpiece, which is the Parthenon that you see all over CNN and Instagram and all these things, why don't we take you first to the basics? And we're here at the Acropolis Museum. Touring actually all around the museum, and the museum is actually made to look like the Parthenon itself, like the length of the Parthenon from one end to the other, because when you see it on the hill it looks actually quite small and it doesn't have a roof anymore, so it's kind of hard to grasp its intensity, its vastness and grandness. But here, when you're inside the Acropolis Museum, it's situated on the hill as you go up to the top on Acropolis Hill itself. So like, it's big. Now that we're walking here, you actually see that, it's almost like we're walking the grounds inside the Parthenon itself. Notice the carving, it's very realistic. It's called the wet style technique. So it seems like it's moving versus very still, even if it's on stone. So there's like movement of the body. I've learned so many things today that I don't know what to share with you anymore, because it's like an influx of information, because our tour guide is actually, well, she's been a tour guide for 50 years, and apart from that, she is also one of the founding fathers or women who gave one of the first tours when this museum opened 10 years ago. Oh my god, guys, I learned so many things. And our tour guide, you know, she was like very pronto. I couldn't even film inside because there was just so many things that we were learning, and I just didn't want to put my phone up, not necessarily put my phone down. So why don't I teach you some trivia, so just things that I've tried to store in my head. Okay, one. So mythology, right? So it's not true. So all these things were actually made up. And Medusa, she's that lady, you know, has like snakes coming out of her hair. Okay, so Medusa was actually blonde-haired and blue-eyed. And Greeks at that time, or whatever time that once upon a time, they're actually really dark-skinned people. So imagine you see like this blonde hair, blue eyes, really fair skin coming from the distance, and you're kind of afraid, like, what the hell is that? So of course they're really afraid of her because she was like enchanting yet so scary. And so because of her blue eyes, it's almost like you just put her there and she wards all the evil away. Hence, if you actually type on your phone right now, evil eye, what emoji pops up? Doom! That is the evil eye, exactly. So what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to ward bad spirits away, just basically all the bad juju away. And that is why when you get married, and if you get married, hence the term something borrowed, something blue. So the blue is supposed to represent warding off evil in your marriage or your relationship. As to the effectivity, as to whether it will be really ward off evil, well, I can't promise you that. So as we are making our way to the Parthenon, now the Parthenon has such a long history because when it was built, it was actually destroyed like many times, and eventually what you see today are just the ruins. But that not to worry, because inside the museum you get to see so many artifacts, a mixture of reproduced together with the original, just so you can have a visual exactly of what it should have looked like back in those days. I think it was 800 BC. Okay, so we're inside right now, and basically if you have weak knees, you're not good with climbing or doing a lot of walking, this might not be for you. But you can see this road right here. So it was like the ancient entrance that was spiraling all the way up to get to the Parthenon itself. So it's like a great grand driveway to get to the Piece de la Resistance. So take a look at that right here. So that is their amphitheater. So in every community, there's a hospital, there's a place where they do their politics, and then of course there's their entertainment, and that is where the amphitheater is. Not only for entertainment, if you guys take a look at my vlog from Turkey, which is Asclepion, there was also an amphitheater right there, and people who have actually been healed from that healing center, the first healing center in the world, they would actually use the amphitheater so that they could share their stories in order to bond with other people who are sick. So there's many reasons why. You just need an audience to feel seen and heard. And we're finally here! Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting, oh shit, the Parthenon! Ta-da! Okay, if this is my perspective, you see that the Parthenon is on this side. But did you know that the original Parthenon, let me catch my breath, was actually right there? So, in the beginning, it was first built right there, and then when the Persians came and burned it down and it was rebuilt, it was actually built here. There's your trivia. And then this over here, that is actually the Temple of the Virgin, which is dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Or her name is also Minerva. Now, did you know that Minerva actually had a child with a goddess of water, or the god of water named Poseidon? Now technically, because it is Greek mythology, and that is just all hearsay and not true, so she's not really a virgin then, right? She's not really an extra virgin olive oil, because she kind of had a booty call with Poseidon because they were still at war with each other. So they had a child, and his name was Erechtheion. It kind of sounds like erection. So they had a child, and that was a temple that was built there too. So Greek mythology, it's really just the things that we cannot understand, or things that are really huge phenomenons. So for example, the goddess of wisdom, who's Athena, is because allegedly Zeus had given birth to her from his head. So from his head, what do you have in your head? You have thinking. And what do you have in your thinking? You have wisdom. So Athena is the goddess of wisdom. There you go. guys, if I forget certain things or I may say things that are not true, I'm just trying to remember all the crap or all the shit that was basically taught to us, at the same time holding a selfie stick, at the same time not trying to lose my step, and trying to see the view as I talk to you guys. So speaking of Parthenon, there's actually another vlog that I did from the Amalfi Coast, which is in Italy, that looks very much like the Parthenon, and if anything it's a little bit more complete. It's actually called Paestum, so guys, check out that vlog if you guys have not the chance to go to Greece but you are in Italy and you happen to be near the Amalfi Coast. Paestum is definitely a must-see if you really want to see Greek columns, Greek structures that are just so beautiful. Okay. Now, if you take a look at the structure right here, there's not a lot of, or none, no statues whatsoever. Well, you will see them inside the museum. That's what the museum is for. And if you can't find them all complete, you can also find them at the British Museum, who pretty much stole some of the artifacts that you see here. Now, the largest damage, as we learned in the museum, they actually have like mini versions that I'm showing on the screen right now of what it looked like before, where it was situated on the left side, and then after the damage from the Persians, it was situated on the right, and then eventually you will see at the very end it was actually ruined again, and the Parthenon was actually built into a church because the Christians had come over and screwed them all. They had done a lot of damage, and then eventually after the Christians it also had become a mosque, so it had become so many things. So if you think about it, what you see here now is just a structure of history, so much history. And speaking of history, technically history is something that's been recorded, and writing has only ever been really recorded or started back in 800 BC. So before that we can't really say if everything is true or not. We must have lost a lot of information back then, and at the same time history is also from the perspective of the winner, so we'll never really know what the truth is because there's always many sides to story, right? And that's why it's called history. So now that you see the Parthenon super up close, the museum is supposed to give that effect as well. That the museum was actually built as sort of like a replica of the Parthenon, so that even if you can't actually go inside the actual grounds of the Parthenon, you can when you go inside the museum. At least the space of it, the grandness of it, because you actually see some ruins that are actually right in the building itself. So you feel like you get a 2-for-1 special, I believe. And I think the number one tip that I can give for you guys is you guys should really get a tour guide, because at least from what I saw, they don't really have any one of those like guided recordings. And at the same time, when everything is really ancient ruins and statues and just things that you can't understand, everything has symbol to it, everything has meaning to it, and unless somebody actually explains it to you, it's really hard to appreciate what you see in the museum. I'm sorry, what did you say? What?
Your channel.
My YouTube channel. Oh, so cute. Bianca Valerio.
Bianca. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Thank you. Bye, guys. That is so cute. They're like Gen Zers and they're asking me my YouTube channel. I feel like I'm 5. That was so cute. That was really, really cute. I like that. Back in the days when you ask someone what's your TV show, it doesn't mean that they're gonna get to see it, but because of the digital world, even kids get to see that I give PG content sometimes. Let's go. Oh my god, guys. Okay, so if I started this trip in that other hotel, Athens Plaza, now I'm ending my trip